This is the story of a kid who was about to give up on his dream to save his family. But what happened next changed everything. Marcus Johnson grew up on the south side of Chicago. While other kids were struggling with basic math, Marcus was solving algebra in the 3rd grade. But being a genius doesn't pay the bills. His mom, Angela, was a single mother working as a nurse's aide, raising 2 kids on her own after his dad left them with nothing but debt. By high school, Marcus was juggling 3 jobs. At 5 a.m., he was stocking shelves at a grocery store. After school, he tutored younger kids. On weekends, he cleaned offices. And the craziest part, he taught himself to code. Not in some fancy classroom, but at McDonald's, using their free Wi-Fi because the internet at his home had been shut off. Despite all this, Marcus maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA. That's when he met Mrs. Patterson, his guidance counselor. She was the first person outside his family who truly saw his potential. Marcus, she said, you need to apply to MIT. Marcus just laughed. Mrs. P, that's for rich kids from the suburbs, not kids like me. But she wouldn't take no for an answer. She helped him with every application, wrote glowing recommendations, and even paid his application fees out of her own pocket. Months went by. Marcus was too busy working, studying, and just trying to survive to think about it. Then, one rainy Tuesday in April, he checked his email. ITS. The subject line read, MIT. He'd gotten in. A full-ride scholarship for computer science. He allowed himself exactly 10 seconds of pure joy, because in that 10th second, an eviction notice slid under their front door. They were 3 months behind on rent. $4,500. His mom had been hiding the notices, not wanting to add to his stress. They had 2 weeks to pay, or they'd be on the street. Marcus checked his savings. He had $3,200. The result of 2 years of nonstop work, every single dollar meant for his college expenses. He did the math. Even if he gave his mom every penny, they'd still be $1,300 short. That night, Marcus showed his mom both letters, the acceptance, and the eviction. She looked at him, her eyes tired but firm. Baby, she said, this is your dream. You're going to MIT. Mom, we're about to be homeless. How can I leave you and Sarah, his 14-year-old sister? Sarah had her own dreams. She'd just been accepted into a magnet school, but they couldn't even afford her uniform or the bus pass. The weight of it all was crushing. Over the next 48 hours, Marcus went into overdrive. He applied to 23 emergency grants. He called MIT's financial aid office 5 times. He sold his laptop, the one he'd pieced together himself, for $600. He picked up double shifts at every job. But the numbers just wouldn't add up. The deadline to accept MIT's offer was Friday at 5 p.m. Thursday night at 2 in the morning, Marcus sat in the dark and drafted an email declining his acceptance. The new plan was simple. Community college, work full-time, and send money home. He would forget MIT, forget his dreams, had to save his family. He showed his mom the email draft. You're going to MIT, she repeated. Mom, we're getting evicted, she cut him off, her voice stronger than he'd ever heard it. Said you're going to MIT. Marcus, baby, listen to me. You think I don't know what you're thinking? That you'll sacrifice yourself for us? We'll figure this out. But you do not throw away an opportunity like this. You hear me? You don't. Sarah chimed in. Marcus, if you don't go to MIT because of us, I'll never forgive you. I'm dead serious. That's when Marcus finally broke. Not his spirit, but the emotional wall he'd built just to survive. He cried for the first time in years, but crying didn't solve the problem. Still had no idea how to make it work. He didn't sleep at all that night. Friday morning, 14 hours until the deadline, his phone rang. It was Mrs. Patterson. Marcus, can you come to my office? When he got there, a man he'd never seen before was sitting with her. He was in his mid-50s, wearing an expensive suit. Marcus, Mrs. Patterson said, this is Kenneth Morrison. Mr. Morrison looked at him kindly. Marcus, your counselor told me your story. It reminded me of myself 30 years ago. I grew up in Detroit, similar situation. Single mom, working 3 jobs. He paused. MIT changed my life. Now I run a tech company worth $200 million. He pulled out a checkbook. This check is for $10,000. It's yours. No strings attached. Well, one string. Someday when you make it, you pay it forward. Marcus couldn't speak. He couldn't even breathe. Mr. Morrison wasn't finished. "There's more. I contacted some local organizations." He listed them off. A church scholarship fund had pledged $2,000, a community center gave $1,500, and a quick neighborhood crowdfunding campaign had raised another $3,800. Marcus just broke down right there in the office. Mr. Morrison put a hand on his shoulder. "You're not alone in this, son. I never were." With just 15 minutes to spare, Marcus Johnson accepted MIT's offer. September came, and Marcus arrived on campus. College was hard, but not academically. It was an emotional shock. His roommate's laptop cost more than 3 months of his mom's rent. Other students talked about family vacation homes and spring break in Europe. But whenever he felt out of place, Marcus remembered his sister's threat and his mother's sacrifice. He wasn't just there for himself. By his sophomore year, he built an app called ScholarMatch. It was designed to help low-income students find scholarships and automated Mrs. Patterson for every kid who didn't have one. The app went viral. Tech blogs wrote about it. By his junior year, a venture capital firm offered him $2 million in funding. Marcus took a leave of absence from MIT to build his company. He hired his sister Sarah as an intern. He moved his mom out of the South Side and into a safe, comfortable apartment. Within 3 years, ScholarMatch had helped over 100,000 students access $50 million in scholarships. 5 years after that rainy day with the eviction notice, Marcus returned to his old high school, not as a struggling student, but as the commencement speaker. He stood at the podium and looked out at the sea of faces. 7 years ago, I sat where you're sitting. I was tired, broke, and ready to give up my dreams to pay the rent. I won't tell you that hard work guarantees success. Life isn't fair like that. But your circumstances don't define your potential. Your zip code doesn't determine your destination. And you don't have to do it alone. Then, he announced the Morrison Johnson Scholarship Fund, named after his mentor and his mother. It would provide 10 full-ride scholarships every single year for students from Chicago public schools. Every penny he had received, multiplied 100 times over, sent right back to his community. That night, Marcus had dinner with his mom and Sarah. Sarah was heading to Stanford on a full scholarship. His mom had just finished her nursing degree. His mom asked, "What was the real choice you made back then?" Marcus smiled. "I thought I had to choose between saving you or saving myself. But the real choice was whether to believe that one person's success meant someone else's failure, or to believe that by lifting myself up, I could eventually lift everyone around me." Today, Marcus is 28. ScholarMatch is valued at $100 million. He's sent over 500 students to college. But if you ask him his proudest moment, it's not the company's valuation. It's becoming someone else's Mr. Morrison. The poor student who almost gave up didn't just change his own life, he changed thousands. And it all started with the hardest decision he ever made, the decision to believe he was worth investing in. If this story inspired you, hit that subscribe button. Share it with someone who needs to hear that their circumstances don't define them, their choices do. Thanks for watching.